Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty, and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of inferential statistics. Dear students, today we are going to discuss the next concern, and that is hypothesis testification by chi-square distribution. As I told you that our major concern, that is hypothesis testification. Our major topic, that is hypothesis testification. We will do this by different methods, by different distribution. In the first initial lecture, I explained hypothesis testification through Z distribution or simply normal distribution. Now today we are going to discuss the next, that is chi-square distribution. Like as I told you that Z distribution, it had clear a variable that was standard normal variable, or that is Z. Now when I'm talking about the chi-square distribution, so chi distribution also has a variable and its representation is like this. Like for example, here it is, yeah, like x, but it is not x, and that is known as your chi variable, which is known as clear chi-square distribution. दे कम रिप्रेजेंटेशन दे या दे कम वेरिएबल दे सही शो अगर दा रकम यूज कीगी मखिमा क्वेश्चन के सॉल्व करे दे इंशाल्लाह तासो आइडिया बनोरम क्लियर शी. एंड हियर इट इज नोन एज योर chi distribution. संगचे z के we have discussed about the different parameters like mu1 minus mu2, p, proportion, and difference between proportion. Now here in chi-square distribution we will discuss the hypothesis testification about the population variance या population standard deviation. दा हमेशा population variance या standard deviation पर रखे मुंग इंशाल्लाह hypothesis देके find out को. अब you can find out hypothesis testification clear to standard deviation, or even you can also find out hypothesis testification through variance. When you take the square of the standard deviation, it becomes your variance. सही शो ना दा सूरा तशवीश खबर है ना. अब hypothesis testification के दन्ना by chi-square distribution we will cover total 2 topics. मुंबो 2 topic complete को. याव दा दे one it is that a single variance hypothesis testification about the single population variance. सही शो मतलब sigma equal to any value. मुंबो दे पर बरके hypothesis testification को. Second, under hypothesis testification through chi-square distribution, we have that is 2 cross 2 contingency table. या देता मुंगा 2 variables independency हम हुए. It means total we will cover 2 topics here clear under the chi distribution under the heading of your hypothesis testification. Now first we are going to start our first topic, and that is hypothesis testification about single variance. As I told you students that if you are using the Z distribution, normal distribution, if you are using the chi distribution, or if you are using the F distribution, so whatever distribution you are using under the hypothesis testification, you must have to proceed, you must have to follow 6 steps. हर यो दे पारा 6 steps थी. उस संगचे Z distribution के 6 steps same chi-square distribution के हम 6 steps थी. मगा 6 steps. मगा means I'm talking about only 6 steps. दन्ना चे कम steps ते आगा change दी लग formulae वगैरह चे change दी. अब now for the first topic we are going to discuss clear the steps. As I told you that this topic is the hypothesis testification about the single parameter variance. The single parameter variance ते पारा दे. सही हुआ. अब देखिए चे कम 6 steps थी. अवल आगा 6 steps उगरू. Now let's start steps in hypothesis testification of a single population parameter variance by chi-square distribution. दिन आसान दे, simple दे इंशाल्लाह का आगा तासुला cleary, दाबा तासुला automatically cleary. गोरे chi-square distribution. As I told you, the variable is like this, chi-square, and here is the distribution. अब before starting the lecture, your concept was तासु सारा like share कमा. चिगुरा, if you remember, when we discuss Z distribution, normal. As I told you that normal distribution has a shape like this. Saishwa, a bell-like shape, and that was basically clear known as your normal distribution. And then I told you that normal distribution has clear two tails. Sometimes it has clear one tail as well, but mostly it has two tails. Matlab one side is positive and one side is negative. Is it? Matlab your point chede da bata sora negative ko, or point chede da bata sora positive ko, because it was a mirror distribution. But when we are talking about the chi-square distribution shape, yaad sahta hai chi-square distribution chikam de, it is also like a normal distribution. Da hum z pashante de. दे हम दो टेल वन टेल और यो टेल टेस्ट की देश, लेकिन फ़र्क से दे फ़र्क दा दे जदा कम चे दो टेल दी फॉर एग्जांपल या दो लेट्स सपोज रीजन दी या दो पॉइंट दी बोथ पॉइंट से कम दे दा वो पॉजिटिव हुई. रिमेंबर दिस थिंग दे दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन काय एंड जेड. नो जेड मतलब जीरो ना लांदे हम वैल्यू तलेशन. It can be sure the values vary from the beyond the zero in Z distribution I'm talking about. But when we are talking about the chi distribution, in chi distribution, the upper limit it will be positive, the lower limit it also will be positive. It means that both the extremes, is it the lower and upper, both will be positive. देखिए वो negative value कल हम नाराज़ी सही हुआ. अब that point है, it is known as your lower limit point. Now the lower limit point chikam formula da, here it is 1 minus alpha by 2 n minus 1. और da chikam tasu sar upper limit point de. The formula da alpha by 2 n minus 1. N minus 1 degree of freedom de. Now let's start steps in hypothesis testification. As I told you, step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5, and step number 6. Up in step number 1, first we will make the null and alternative hypothesis. Null alternative definitely clear to you. H0 is your null and H1 is your alternative. या HA हम देता विलेशन. Up as I told you that in chi-square distribution we are going to study the single parameter variance. No zaka delta ma variance सा तो लती करे दे sigma square. Sigma square equal to theta. Theta any value. Sigma not equal to theta. And when you have not equal sign, automatically that is your two-tail test. They can remember this thing, two-tail mean in chi both the values will be positive, upper and lower limit. Then second condition da ki deshi, sigma greater than equal to theta. Theta is any value. H1 da ki deshi, sigma less than theta. When you have less than sign, it means it is your one-tail test. सही हुआ, लेकिन it is less than de, no da basta so sara left-tail test ही, लेकिन अब हम positive. Then we have third condition, C condition, that sigma square is less than equal to theta. When you have less than equal to theta, automatically that is greater than theta. Again you have one tail OTT test, one tail test. It is your greatest test, so the one tail K, it will be your right test. And remember this thing under chi, again I told you that right tail test, it also will be positive. Then second step, level of significance or your value of alpha. Alpha value. Step number 3, test statistic. Formula chi-square is equal to the chi-square variable there. Sangachi alta bumunga city color z k sexual alta bumunga z color normal distribution variable. No chi variable mung sarasade chi-square. Ab chi-square is equal to n minus 1 into s square. That is your sample variance divided by your population variance. This follows chi-square distribution with n minus 1 degree of freedom. Is it? DF mean degree of freedom. Their books ke the n minus 1 pozima ne v likhi हुई. Don't be confused. V is only a symbol. N minus 1 sexual da lag matlab length de no shortcut simply v likhi. V mean degree of freedom. Sexual variable countability da simply. ब्याचे कम दे critical region. अब reject H0 if का under the chi taso test two tail test है. If it is for example TTT two tail test. No bya gura that is your lower limit. And here it is your upper limit. No lower limit baham positive. Remember this thing under chi and upper limit chekam de it also will be positive. This is not the case of Z. Z ke lower limit was in negative and upper limit was only in positive. But here both the lower and upper will be in positive. Ab lower limit the para formula the chi value less than chi 1 minus alpha by 2 n minus 1. That is the lower point. So here it is, this one point. Us the upper the para. If we will reject H0, if the chi value is greater than chi alpha by 2 n minus 1. The whole critical limits the सही हुआ when two tail test. अब suppose you have one tail test and one tail test के साथ सारा greater दे right tail test. So then chi greater than chi alpha n minus 1. And when you have one tail test सही हुआ but left tail test. So then chi less than chi 1 minus alpha n minus 1. Step number 5. Application of test statistic simply mean that whatever the formula we have used in step number 3, we have to apply this formula over here in step number 5 just to get the value of your chi. And step number 6, compare your critical values of chi with tabulated values of chi. Now yaad saate delta na kam values receive, these are known as your tabulated value of chi. With the come of formula we will apply in step number 5. That will give you this one chi, and that will be our calculated chi. So here we will compare our calculated chi with tabulated chi. If my calculated chi is less than this limit and greater than this limit, we will reject H0. If my calculated chi is greater than this limit, I will reject H0. And I will reject H0 if my calculated chi is less than this lower limit. Then again I will reject H0. So therefore conclusion किससे दे, we have to accept, we have to reject H0. अब now students अंदर पशपक step माने now we are going to solve the question. Book में question आखिर से देखो data already given दे. A manufacturer of car batteries claims that the life of his batteries have a standard deviation equal to 0.9. गोरा standard deviation work करे 0.9. If a random sample of 10 उसका random sample दे मतलब n is equal to 10 सही हुआ, of these batteries have a standard deviation of 1.2 years. उसका कम च 10 batteries दी, is it? दो 10 batteries च कम standard deviation दे मतलब that is known as your S. 10 तासो सर S दे. This 1.2 is your sample standard deviation. और 10 च कम standard deviation दे 10 तासो सर sigma दे variance सही हुआ, sorry population standard deviation दे. And when you will take the square of 0.9, you will get standard variance. Variance wale. Do you think that sigma is greater than 0.9 here? Use level of significance alpha chora de 0.05. Up remember one thing. As I told you, chi-square distribution ke population variance या population standard deviation दोनों न सासो इस्तेफादा कवले शी. मतलब कस्तासो लिखे, let's suppose chi H0. सही हुआ, suppose. That is, do you think that sigma greater than 0.9? तो तासो दा से हम कवले शी ची standard deviation equal to 0.9 सही हुआ. और ब्या तासो दा से हम कवले शी let's suppose ची H1 के let's suppose ची दा तासो सरा standard deviation is greater than 0.9 sorry एन चले सही कारण कि 0.9 दे उस I took standard deviation उस दी पजी मने तासो variance हम खस्ते शी, is it? It means double 0.9 that will be 0.81. पर दी मने हम तासो hypothesis जोड़ा वाले शी. You can use variance, is it? You can also use standard deviation. दोड़ा बिल्कुल सही दी सही हुआ. Now let's start the question. दा already मां solve करे दे. Just look at here. आसान है इंशाल्लाह, difficult ना दे. गोरा. As I told you, step number 1, make null and alternative hypothesis. Here is your null hypothesis, which is variance 0.81. As I told you, take the square of standard deviation. That's standard deviation 0.9 hum you can take. सही हुआ. लेकिन if you want to convert it into variance, so then take the square of 0.9. 0.9 सही हुआ standard deviation, it becomes your variance, and that is 0.81. And here they already given in the question that greater than 0.81. Look at here, that is greater, again one tail test, but remember this thing that is greater, it is a right tail test. हालांकि right or left दोनों will be positive, लेकिन the right tail test है. अब step number 2, value of alpha 0.05. Step number 3, formula n-1 s square divided by sigma square 1. The formula which I have mentioned here. Here that the formula. सही हुआ, देखो मैं formula मैं mention कर दे step number 3 के. I just mentioned the formula here. This follows chi-square distribution with n-1 df mean degree of freedom. Up step number 4, critical region. I have to find out that I should reject H naught if अब गोरा that is one tail test सही हुआ and one tail test के greater than दे. Now if you notice, as I told you, that if you have one tail test, here it is, and one tail test के greater दे, so then you have to use this condition, chi square greater than chi square alpha n minus 1. अब now look at here, I have applied this condition here, chi square greater than chi square alpha n minus 1. अब chi square greater chi square गोरा alpha is 0.5. here alpha position है तासु सर सर 0.5 गोरा n total सूरा बैटरी वो total n is equal to 10 शुरू की मात्रा से हुए चे n total there were 10 batteries सही हुआ. So n is your 10. now गोरा n position I put 10 here. Now look at here 10 minus 1 that is equal to 9. now chi square the gore chi square greater than chi square 0.05 and 10 minus 1 9 is it. And now look at here. Now this value is the chi value. You have to calculate this value from the chi table. That was also chi table now find out की. गोरा दिल तमाम mention करे दे that table दे chi square. Is it? अब if you focus दाउ गुरी तासो that is df degree of freedom. Is it? That is your df. कला कार ना कहीं सही शो पैड गोरा दा 9 चिकम दे we have to search out in degree of freedom and 0.05 that we have to search out in probability. How? Now look at here is the chi square table. Is it? Dear students, if you focus, look at here, that is df and here is your 9 सही शो that is ससुरा 9 उस 9 पास 0.05 दे that is ससुरा 0.05 उस 9 सही शो और 0.05 if you tasu rashi you will find out this value 16.92. अब that is the critical value. दी तब मुराशु वापस खपल लगता. Look at here. If you focus, here is the value 16.92. Is it? Now I am saying my critical value will be that I will reject H naught when my chi value is greater than 16.92. अब now I want to calculate my chi value. That where is my chi value? As I told you that for chi value I have to use the formula, step number 5, which I have mentioned in step number 3. और अंदर formula में apply करला. Is it? Put the value. N total 10 दे 10 minus 1 that is 9. सही हुआ. 10 पर 9 रहा है. अब S दे sample standard deviation. अब question क्यों गई sample standard deviation that was 1.2 and take the square. Divided by variance चिकम दे that already 0.81 दे. Solve this equation directly you will get 16.0 या 16. Up 16.0 it is the value of chi. Now compare this chi here. Is it? Put this chi here. What I am saying that I will reject H naught if my chi is greater than 16.92. Now my chi is 16. Is 16 greater than 16.92? No, not at all. So it means that chi square calculated 16 is not greater than 16.91. Sorry, here is 92. That 92 there. सही हुआ? So we accept H naught. Is it? It means we have to accept H naught. We have to reject H1. Simply stated, and conclude that there is no reason to doubt that standard deviation is 0.95. या standard variance is 0.81. सही हुआ? Hope inshallah idea will be clear. Now your bulk question bum solve को it will make your idea inshallah more clear. Question दारे I have taken this question from the book. सही हुआ? Past experience indicates that the time for high school seniors to complete a standardized test in a normal random variable with a standard deviation of 6 minutes. सही हुआ? Test the hypothesis that standard deviation is 6 against the alternative that sigma less than 6. मतलब H naught already given the sigma equal to 6. Sigma है कि हम तासो कवले शे and you can convert it into variance and variance it become 36. मतलब variance is equal to 36 H naught and H1 variance less than 36. If a random sample of n, अब look at here, that is known as your n is 20. Senior school has a standard deviation, now sample standard deviation that is 4.5. Use level of significance 0.05. सही हुआ? Now let's start again. Step number 1, make null and alternative hypothesis. As I told you, sigma variance, that is 36, variance less than 36, already given in the question. Up the question is again one tail test, OTT. लेकिन under OTT के now this time the less than दे, मतलब that will be your left tail test. But remember this thing, again under the left tail we will have the positive value. Step number 2, 0.05, the value of alpha. Step number 3, the formula. Step number 5, critical region. Now I will reject H0. Is it? Now if you notice one thing, let me give you a click from the last, that as I told you that when you have one tail test and that is less than, so then I have to use this formula, this critical region, that is chi square less than chi square 1 minus alpha n minus 1. Saishwa? Now look at the question. I have used this problem, this critical region here, that chi square less than chi square 1 minus alpha n minus 1. The reason is why I use this, because my test is one tail and under one tail, that is left tail test. Is it? Now same chi square less than chi square 1 1 minus the value of alpha 0.05 n minus 1, n was total 20, 20 minus 1, that is 19. Again I have to search out this value into the table. Under the 19 degree of freedom with 0.95 of probability. Let me check here, because 0.95 and 19. Look at here. Here is the 19. That is the 19. That was the 0.95. Here is 0.95. Is it? And here is 19. 19 makhila da value in front of 19. Is it? And beneath your 0.95 you will get this value, that is 10.12, yeah, 10.12. Saishwa? Now look at here. Here it is. Now look at here, the value is 10.12. And now what I'm saying, that reject H0. I will reject H0 if my x chi square value is less than 10.12. Now let me find out this value, that really it is less than 10.12 or not. Now for this we have used this formula. Put the values in the formula. N minus 1, 19. S square, that is 4.51 square, and sigma square, that is 36. Solve this equation, you will get 10.73. 10.73 compared with this 10.12. Is it less than 10.12? No, it is not less than. So therefore we will accept H0. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear to you. Asana hai inshallah, difficult nahi. Now students, we are going to start the next topic, that is 2 cross 2 contingency table. Is it? Awal khuda da dekhe do khabari. Sometime in some books it is known as 2 cross 2 contingency table. Question dalta why it is called 2 cross 2 contingency table. And second, their books ke it has a name, independency of two variables. It means here we will make hypothesis through chi distribution about the two variables, categorical variables, that either these variables are dependent or independent. Pehla khabara. And second, it is known as 2 cross 2 contingency table. Why it is called 2 cross 2 contingency table? Awal question tabarashu. If you focus one thing, students, gura da yo stasu sara male or female, da stasu sara yo variable, it is gender. Sashwa? Or dalta gura over 25 hours, under 25 hours, and that is simply known as your time. It means I have here two variables, one is time, one is gender, and it has two levels, one is male, one is female, one is over 25 and one is under 25. No matlab dwa level dalta di, is it? Or dwa level dalta di. Zaka, that is known as 2 cross 2. Yadam will issue simply stated when you have two rows and you have two columns. Gura dashu stasu sara dwa rows, is it? Or dashu stasu sara dwa column. So when you have two rows, two column, it is simply known as your 2 cross 2 contingency table. Sahi hua? Zaka deta contingency table wai. 2 cross 2 contingency table. Now as I told you, har yo hypothesis testification ya independency of two variables depara when we calculate hypothesis that either two variables are dependent or not dependent. For this, sahi hua, we have to study again the 6 steps. अब these 6 steps come de देख लग होने जुदा दी as compared to the other hypothesis. Gura interdependency of two variables simply means that we want to check that either two variables are dependent, they are associated, or they are not associated. Is it by chi-square method? Or sometimes it is known as 2 cross 2 contingency table. Explain why it is known as 2 cross 2, because it has two rows, two columns. Yeah, it has two variables with two labels. Therefore, that is known as 2 cross 2 contingency table. Up same step number 1, make null and alternative hypothesis. उसको दे null h0 और h1 चिकम दे सही शो दा लग जुदा दी देखिए सो वेरिएंस वगैरह नश्ता सही शो दा यो स्टेटमेंट दे मुंगो यू कि two variables are independent. When two variables are independent, it simply means they are not associated. And h0 के हमेशा वो फिक्स ही two variables are not independent. When two variables are not independent, जुदा जुदा नहीं, it means they are linked, they are associated. Now गोरा h0 हमेशा वो फिक्स ही two categorical variables are independent and two variables are not independent. सही शो मतलब simply they are dependent. Step number 2, value of alpha. The common 0.05, 0.1 and 0.01. अब टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक दीदी फॉर्मूलेट हो गई chi-square is equal to AD minus BC whole square into A plus B plus C plus D. This divided by A plus B into C plus D into A plus C into B plus D. सही हुआ? दा फॉर्मूला. This follows chi-square with R minus 1 and C minus 1. R simply mean rows, C simply mean columns. सही हुआ? सोरा rows दी, 2 rows दी, सोरा columns दी, सही हुआ? 2 columns दी. And DF degree of freedom. The critical region चिकम दे आहा fixed दे. That chi-square greater than equal to chi-square alpha R minus 1 C minus 1 degree of freedom. Step number 5, application of test statistic. And step number 6, simply conclusion. रसी पदी मन इंशाल्लाह यो question solve को question में book ना राखस्ते दे. अब now if you notice question says أول خدا دي جورا data if you focus clear on the table you will find out as I told you that it has two variables. One is gender, one is time, and it has again two labels. Saishwa, no zaka that is known as 2 cross 2. Yeah, simply when it has two rows, two columns, simply that is 2 cross 2. उस मुंगुरु देख दा कतल वाड़ू चे आया दा जेंडर दा सेक्स चिकम दे दा पर टाइम माने या टाइम पर जेंडर सरा डिपेंडेंट दे कनदे. It simply means सादाल पास के gender and time they are dependent, they are linked or they are independent ना जुदा जुदा दी. सही चिकला हम दो वेरिएबल्स कैटेगोरिकल वेरिएबल्स के we want to study the interdependency, is it, and the table contains 2 cross 2, so simply it is known as 2 cross 2 contingency interdependency table. Now chi-square distribution, now how we will find out this. Now look at the question. A random sample of 30 adults are classified according to sex matlab gender and the number of hours they watching during a week. Now using alpha 0.01 of significance, test the hypothesis that the person's sex matlab gender and time watching television are independent. Is it? I have two variables here. One is gender and one is time watching TV. They are linked, they are associated, they are independent or not, they are dependent. Us guru ch aya da data so what simply this data say to us, is it? Ab de para first h0 is what two variables are independent. मतलब दोड़ा चिकम दे associated नदी जुदा जुदा दी. ब्यादल तज़वाया मा h1 two variables are not independent. सही शो मतलब चिदा independent नदी मतलब gender and watching TV सही शो time दा चिदे दा यो बलसरा related थे. अब गुरा दा hypothesis fix थी. Step number 2, value of alpha 0.01. Step number 3, formula लिखे which I told you. सही शो that is the formula. अब chi-square r minus 1 c minus 1 गुरा r row total row सूरा दी 2 दी सही शो 2 minus 1 that is 1. Column total सूरा दी 2 दी 2 minus 1 that is 1. Step number 4, critical region. Reject h0 if उसको critical region fix दे, that is the critical region. Chi-square greater than equal to chi-square alpha r minus 1 c minus 1 गोरा alpha पदी माने 0.01, is it, that is the value 0.01. r minus 1 total rows सूरा दी गोरा total दो रो दी यो दा रो दा सही हुआ और total column यो दा column दे सही हुआ और यो सासु सरा दा column दे simply. Now गोरा 2 minus 1 1 column minus 1 2 minus 1 again 1 is it? अब 1 into 1 that is 1. अब मगा chi square table ना 0.01 के value find out करी. You will get the value 6.63. अब what I am saying, reject h naught if I will reject h naught if my chi calculated is greater than or equal to 6.63. Now let me check my chi calculated. That comes in a when I apply this formula. That was apply kama. Ab the formula chikama madal tali put this formula here. Is it? Put the values in this formula. Look at here. Very easy tarika. If you notice on the formula, gora a d minus bc square. Say shwa. Gora anda table chikam de. This table. Gora 5 9 9 7. Da mein taso dal to diko. Da mein dal ta jod kara de. Gora 5 9 9 7. The 5 chikam da deta taso a work. That is a. Next value is b. That is c. And that is, for example, d. Ab look at here. Gora a dekha na. A is equal to 5. A is equal to 5. Put the value 5 here. Is it? That is simply known as your a. Beyond next value the d. Ab d is gora d delta taso se 7. Ab that is your simply d. सही हुआ पैट सही कर रहा है माइनस ब्याज गुरा b and c. अब here is your b. b is 9. दा गुरा बचे b is 9. And the next c is again 9. That is 9. Is it? c is again 9. Take the square. That is your square. सही हुआ उसको next a plus b plus c plus d. दा सलूर वाला जमा कई a plus b plus c plus d. You will get 30 and that is 30. अब गुरा दा था सो सला a plus b. If you add a plus b मतलब 5 plus 9 you will get 14. सही हुआ बोले चुगोरा a plus b that is 14. नोगोरा a plus b that is your 14. Next is c plus d. उस गुरा दादे बचे तासोरा c 9 दे plus d तासोरा 7 दे. c plus d you will get 16 and that is your 16. सही हुआ नो सेम a plus c that तासोरा 14 रहा and b plus d that तासोरा 16 रहा. Solve the equation. At the end you will get 1.26. अब this 1.26 is the value of chi square which we calculated. अब now what I said here, I said that I will reject h naught if my chi is equal to or greater than 6.63. My chi say here is the chi value. अब chi is 1.26. Either 1.26 is greater than 6.63. No, it is not greater. So it means I can't reject h naught. Because it is not fulfilling my requirement. So therefore I am accepting h1 h naught. Now when I have accepted h naught, it means two variables are independent. Matlab gender, sex and time watching TV, they are not connected. Da juda juda di. Matlab gender or time da yobal sara linked nadi. Pa yobal mane associated nadi. ये योबल माने डिपेंडेंट नदी जुदा जुदा दी. जेंडर जान लदे सही हुआ वाचिंग टीवी वेरिएबल चिकम दे दा जान लदे दा योबल माने बिल्कुल डिपेंडेंट नदी दे आर इंडिपेंडेंट. होप इंशाल्लाह कंटीजेंसी टेबल बसासुला क्लियर शवे हम भी आसान है इंशाल्लाह दूरा डिफिकल्ट न दे. नाउ लास्ट के जो सेल्फ प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन दे सही हुआ दा बसासो सिंपली काय सर हल कई सिंपली काय 2x2 ना. A nicotine content of a certain brand of cigarette is known to be normally distributed with a variance of 1.3 milligrams. सही हुआ बुरा 1.3 variance milligram. Test the hypothesis that variance 1.3 against the alternative that sigma square 1.3. That बुरा already that's the susara h naught the. Here is your h naught, is it? And that's the susara already h1 the. सही हुआ question के given हम दे. If a random sample of 8 is known as your n. Of this cigarette has a standard deviation. That's the sara sample standard deviation. So 0.0 that's the sara alpha. So no h1 mshta, h0 mshta, s mshta, alpha mshta. Just simply use say your chi square distribution. Matlab simply your variance check हम दे आगे दे पारा था so find out. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. Thank you so much.